This is what we do when we get serious about getting rid of our back pain on BackAlive. I'm going to take you through some modalities step by step. I'm going to talk through it. I'll tell you what it's doing, tell you what I'm doing and why. First thing I like to do, because I realized after doing my own study work, after what I was doing was not working for so many years, I want to light up my hamstring and my glute. And the way I do that with BackAlive, I just mount it from the back and I lean over, and it's a great ham stretch. And you can roll at the same time as you're stretching, and that's a wonderful feel. You actually can flare out the hip joint. And I do that on both legs because all this is tied into your low back. Everything that I'm doing is affecting the next step modality. But I want to get everything warmed up first. And this is a wonderful, easy way to stretch your ham without having to strain and add pressure at the same time. I'm going to get that done. The next thing I'm going to do, it's pretty simple to do. I'm going to adjust the roller down. I always like to do this because it just feels good and it gets blood going. I just roll out my glute. It's amazing how good that feels. You're just firing up that, it's one of the biggest muscles in your body. Some people it's bigger than it's supposed to be. But this is a wonderful feel. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise the roller back up and I'm going to stretch out my hip flexors. Because there again, these are small muscles, but when they get tight, they're all tied into your low back. So if something is tight, you're going to have pain. What I'm going to do is lean over, and as I'm firing up my right hip flexor, I'm stretching my left oblique at the same time and strengthening it at the same time as well. Do it the other side, lean into it. You only have to move a few inches. Lean over, stretch my right oblique, fire up my left hip flexor. All right, I'm ready to go to the next maneuver. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to lower out my footrest. I'm going to go to the low back, which is 90% of the time is the problem area. But the first modalities got me prepared for this one particular modality. Let this out a little bit more. And as you can see, the numbers on here will tell you where you need to be. You'll figure it out as you go. First thing I'm going to do is raise myself up and just let the roller hit at the top of my pelvis. And I'm going to do a pelvic tilt, flexing the SI joint. And when I first started doing this, I could barely do this at all without pain. Several things are happening. As you add pressure, your legs are stiff, so there's no pressure on your thighs. It's completely relaxed, but the pressure alone is stimulating nerves. It's creating a block in your back, in the muscle, which feels great. And as you sit down, you stick your butt up under the roller, you start to plank back. And as you do, you get to center back and pow, you start getting the releases. Everything below is decompressed. I might do that one more time. Now listen, there's not a foam roller on the planet that will allow you to do this in a non-flex. When I say non-flex, I'm not firing up my core to be able to do this. I'm able to apply the pressure where I want to apply it, when I want to apply it, and it's very easy to do. You get a lot of results from this maneuver. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go to center back. I'm basically I'm going to pull the footrest out a little bit more leverage. Hands on the hand rest here. I'm going to go right to my mid back, and I'm just going to plank back, do an angel wing out, and just kind of pump the disc in that mid area. Oh, that's a wonderful feeling. And you get a lot of release. You're moving everything, every support structure in your back, you're moving. It's awesome. All right, done with that. Next modality, I'm going to go to the upper back, which is cervical spine and shoulder. And this is great for folks that have issues in the T area. Not being a doctor, but I know that's the T part of the back. I'm going to go down, I'm going to use a handrails. Just going to roll there. Plank back, and you get an amazing release. And I even get up into the bottom of my neck, bottom of my skull, cranium, and you're just moving everything. And the key to this is motion. And it's just real hard to do this any other way. I mean, you can go to a physical therapist, you can go to a chiropractor, you can get manipulated by a person, but this is completely everything's in alignment. For those folks that have rotator cuff problems like myself, I'm an older dude and I've got rotator cuff issues in both shoulders. And here's how you can drive blood into the shoulder and get a great relief by using this modality. I've already raised the rollers to the proper height. I've extended out the footrest. So what I'm going to do is go to the footrest. I'm just going to lean into the roller. I'm just going to roll my front delt. And it's a great feel, and it's really hard to get this type of action with any other type of machine or product on the market, and you're driving all that blood into your shoulder and really, really working out any myofascial issues in the muscle there, and it's awesome. Then I turn around. Now I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to the rear of my shoulder and work my rear delt. And I'm going to do this individually initially. I'm just going to lean down and work that rear delt. And man, does that feel great. And I can add as much pressure as I want to by pushing from the footrest and leaning into it. I'm going to do that with my other shoulder, working the rear delt, both sides individually, and then hands on the hand rest here and just work both together and get down deep. Oh man. So any myofascial issues going on, you're gonna touch those trigger points. No drugs, no injections, no surgery, just results. BackAlive.